Hey guys, how's everybody doing? And welcome to another episode of the Sixer Standard Podcast. I'm Ethan Koppelman along with Noah Moff, so it's here.
Hey, what's up?
I'm doing well. We got a lot of news to talk about today. Doc Rivers has not had a very good first week on the job as Sixers head coach. I think everything that possibly could have gone wrong has gone wrong. Maybe that's an exaggeration. It has not been a good first week on the job. But we're going to get into a lot of Doc Rivers stuff today since Sixers training camp, a lot of quotes by players, a lot of quotes by Doc Rivers. Getting ready for the season. Season starts in 2 weeks. We also have the schedule to look at, so we got a whole ton of shit to talk about. Let's get right into it. So first, we do want to look at the schedule, and I'm going to get the Sixers schedule up, and then I can share my screen from there.
Yes.
So just let me get that image up and then.
All right.
So I'm going to share now. So as you guys see here, this is the Sixers schedule right here. It might be a little bit small, but we'll go through every game. And no, if you could keep count whether we think everything's a win or a loss and add them up, that would be great. If you can't do that on the fly.
Okay, let me hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Hold on. I'm gonna search up calculator and then I'll just add I'll just say
Okay.
I'll add by one.
Okay. So
Alright,
first game is December 23rd. Hold on, what's home? So that's a home game against the Wizards.
I think we
That
got
should
it.
be a win even with their new additions. So we're going to put a win
Awesome.
down for that. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree with that.
Next game is away against the Knicks. I think that is still a win.
Yes.
And by the way, we're going to be putting wins and losses for what we think is going to happen. Obviously, we're going to lose to bad teams and we're going to be good teams, but we're just going to put down what's most likely to happen. It won't, but our predictions. So December 26th, that's I think going to be a win against the Knicks.
Yes.
We have a back-to-back against the Cavaliers. I think this could be a game we very much lose, but I think there's a good chance we win, so we'll put down a win for that.
Yes.
Then we have the Toronto Raptors.
I think we'll win this game because we're home.
And Marc Gasol is off the team.
And Serge Ibaka.
So Serge Ibaka I don't care about, but Marc Gasol, him and Embiid.
Yeah, I think
Talk about Al Horford being able to guard Embiid and Marc Gasol. So I think that's a win, especially since it's at home. So that's going to be 4-0. But I looked at the schedule before, guys. Wait until we get into the thick of it. It is ugly. Then we go to the Magic on the road. I think that's a win.
Think we got it. Yeah, so 5-0 so far.
It looks very familiarly like last season where we get off to a hot start and then things crumble. But we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. Then we play 2 home games against the Hornets. Let's assume we win both of those because they're the Hornets.
Okay, +1. Okay, got it.
Then we play the Wizards at home again.
I think it's another win.
I think that's another win too. And guys, this is where the schedule comes down hard.
It's a fan.
Then we play the Brooklyn Nets on the road January 7th. That's a loss.
Yeah. Oh, shit. No. There we go.
So just have 2 separate calculators up, okay? So have 2 separate windows with calculators up, and then one of them add the wins and one of them add the losses.
Okay. So 1+. Okay. Got it.
And then we're home, but we play the Nuggets. I think that's a loss. I think the Nuggets are a better team than us.
I honestly disagree. I wouldn't think that, even though they could be better, I just think we can win that game. It's definitely doable, and I think that'll be like one of the games we win against one of the good teams.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We didn't take into account the games against the bad teams we lost, right? So, like, that Cleveland game we could very much lose. But I think what we have to do is, even if there's a 45% chance we win this game, there's still a 55% chance we lose.
Yeah.
So I think
+1 to the loss.
That's what I think, at least.
Yeah.
And then we go to the Hawks, who I think are a very good team, but I think they're still young. So even though we're on the road here, I think it's been bad against the Hawks. I think we do pull it out here.
It'll be a tough one, though.
A tough win, but a win.
Yeah. Who's next?
Then we play 2 games against the Heat. If I'm going to be honest, I think the Heat are way overrated. So I think we take one of those 2 games.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We win one and we lose one. Yeah, that we win one of the Heat games and then we lose one of the Heat games.
Then we play the Grizzlies, who are a very good team. They remind me of the 2017-18 Sixers with Ja and Jaren, and then good pieces around them.
This could be an upset. I might. This
An
could be
upset for
one of
Hill.
the Sixers. I think they could lose because this might be one of their bad games.
I think we have to say they lose this game because the Sixers are not that good of a team, especially on the road. I think this is going to be a loss.
Even though we're a better team than the Grizzlies, I just think those two Heat games will get us gas. And
I'm not even sure if we're a better team. I mean,
I think we are.
last season was bad, but I think we will lose that game.
Yeah. Okay, the Thunder.
Then on a back-to-back, we go into Thunder, even though it's a back-to-back. Their
I
team is
think we
really
win
bad
this.
now. Like last season, their team was good. This team is really bad. Other than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, it's like him and like fourth graders. So I think you got to chalk up a win.
Yeah, and it'll be like a revenge game against because we lost against the Grizzlies, so we win the next game. Now
Then
the
we get
Celtics.
2 games against Boston. They're both home. I think
I
we
think
take
we
one
won one. Yeah, we
because
take one and we
since
lose one.
both the games are home, I think we can take one.
I agree with you.
And guys, keep in mind the record we're gonna have here is going to be like a lot higher than what it will actually be. But like we're Sixers
This
fans.
is just the first part of the schedule.
Yes, but the win-loss percentage will be higher than it actually is. We're being very hopeful here as Sixers fans.
Yeah, the Pistons.
I think we win both of these.
We might lose. I honestly think we might lose one because
Pistons are so bad. They are
I know they're bad.
so bad.
Okay, I
Like
trust you.
realistically, they probably will. But if we're looking at this from like a logistical standpoint, you can't predict them to lose one of the games.
Yeah. So yes, I just put a win column on there.
And then we
Two
play the
win
Lakers
column.
at home. I honestly think this is a loss, even though it's at home. Even though we're very good at home, the Lakers are too good.
Yeah.
It's a loss.
It'll be a tough one because Simmons versus LeBron and B versus Davis. It's gonna be a tough loss, but I think it'll ultimately be a very, very close game.
Hot take right here. We're going to go on a little bit of a losing streak. We're going to lose both to the Timberwolves and Pacers, I think. And you can tell me if you disagree.
I think
On the Pacers, against the Pacers on the road, we have
we'll
been
lose.
abysmal.
I'll say this. We won't. I think we'll win against Minnesota, but we'll lose against Indiana.
Minnesota's one. Minnesota's really good. They have Anthony Edwards.
First of all,
Karl
Anthony Towns is bullshit compared to Joel Embiid.
Okay, but they also have D'Angelo Russell. They also have Anthony Edwards. They also have Malik Beasley and a whole team of scorers.
But what's their defense? They have no defense, and we do. And we have offense as well.
It's inconsistent. I think
we'll win against Minnesota, but we'll lose against Indiana. That's my take.
Okay.
So I'll just put 1 and then 1. +1 and +1. All right.
Then we play Charlotte on the road. That's a win.
Should be a win.
Portland at home off a back-to-back. I think that's a loss. It's off a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Think about it. You're on the road. You're traveling all the way back home, and then you have a game against Portland. That's a back-to-back.
Yeah,
I think you lose.
I agree with you on that. Brooklyn. Ooh,
Although I do think we upset Brooklyn here and beat them. I don't think we're that much worse, and I think we're going to take one of the 2 games.
Yeah.
So I think off a day rest, I think it's reasonable to expect a win.
Yeah.
And then we go on this road trip that is very fun. No, I'm kidding. But I do think we take the first game against the Kings.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that.
Out of these next 3 games, I think we take one. Not sure which, but I think we take one.
I think we take.
There's no way we take 2. There is no way we take 2 off of a West Coast road trip with 3 solid teams. What?
We'll take the Jazz game and we'll lose.
The Jazz are. Here's the thing. All these teams, I think, are better than us. Or at least 2 of them. At least 2 of the teams are better than us as it stands. You can't make that argument.
I can.
The Suns are better than us, and the Jazz are better than us, and the Trailblazers are probably better than us.
Possibly. I'm not going to make the argument.
I don't
I
think
do
we
think
take
we're
two
a good
games
team.
off of a.
We'll
Maybe
take
if it was
one. We're
home,
gonna take one. We'll
yeah.
take one.
If it was home, then there's a chance. On the road, no,
If there's home, I think we'll take 2 out of the 3.
possibly. Then we play the Rockets at home. I think that's a win.
Yeah.
We usually play pretty well against the Rockets, especially at home. And who knows if Harden's on the team by then.
Yeah. The
Bulls at home,
Bulls,
that's a win.
another win. Yep.
Raptors there, we don't win any of them. No one beats them
Now
at the
we'll
arena.
lose
We're losing both of those. Even without fans, I still think it's
against
a hard
the
atmosphere
yeah.
to play in. It's 2
I
losses.
just hate Toronto. Toronto's gay.
Mavericks at home, I think we lose. I think it's going to be a tough game for us. Luka and KP. Luka's going to get even better. Even
Yeah,
better.
I project him to win MVP, honestly.
So I think we lose that game. We might win a game against the Mavericks, maybe if there's another one coming up in the
Yeah,
second half.
the
But
Cavs. Oh my God, we'll win that.
yes, we'll win that. And then we have a home game, Pacers and Jazz. I say we take one out of those two.
I think we take the Pacers and we'll lose. Honestly, I feel like we'll take both of them because we're home.
You can make the argument, but
I'll just take both because we're very good at home. We have the best home record in the NBA last
no fans
year.
though. No fans.
Doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't
We like-
matter?
We like playing at the Wells Fargo Center.
Wait, did you say that our fans are not good and they don't matter?
No,
Did you just put down Sixers fans?
no,
It doesn't matter. No, Sixers fans don't matter. Don't matter.
oh,
Don't
no, they
matter.
matter. They help us, but I think overall we still play very well at the Wells Fargo Center. It'll be harder without fans, but I think we still play very well at the Wells Fargo Center, even without fans.
I don't
And
think
it sucks. And if the fans were there, we would have probably won almost all the home games.
so. What's our record in the end then?
So let's go to the losses. We have 13 losses. We lose 13 games. And we win 24 games.
24 and 13.
Yeah.
I think that is reasonable. Well, first divide up. So you're gonna go. What you're gonna do is you're gonna add both of those together. What's that together?
24 plus 13. Okay. Plus 24. That is 37.
Then you're gonna divide 24 by 37. I'll do that. So win percentage is 0.64864. 864.
It's over 500, so.
I think that would be realistic. Possibly a little bit of a stretch, but definitely realistic.
Yes. And who knows? We might be able to. We might lose against bad teams. We might upset good teams. You never know.
We'll definitely lose the bad teams. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but we definitely could upset the good teams like Brooklyn and LA.
Yeah. So, yeah, next, I want to go through some quotes, and we can go through these kind of fast. First, this is by Doc Rivers. I don't care about Ben shooting as much as other people do. If he takes no shots, I'm fine. I'm going to give him the keys and let him be free. Your thoughts, Doc Rivers enthusiast.
I'll say this. I disagree, but I a little bit agree with that. Just a tiny, like this. Like, what's up? Doc Rivers, like, what the hell? He needs to take jump shots. He actually needs to. He will be point to the next LeBron James if he can shoot the damn ball. He has everything else. He's an elite defender. Honestly, he should have won Defensive Player of the Year last year. Like, that was complete bullshit. How Giannis, who only blocks shots and doesn't do anything else, won. Even though Anthony Davis, that was bullshit. But anyways, I have been projected to win Defensive Player this year, even ahead of Anthony Davis. I think he'll improve. His offensive game, he can slash. He can pass, obviously. He's a great ball handler for his height. But his shot, it absolutely sucks. And what Doc Rivers said was unacceptable. But I feel like Simmons does need to be a little more free. I feel like he does need to be a little bit more free. because with Brett Brown, I don't think he was that free.
Can I tell you what happened when Brett Brown told Ben Simmons to shoot threes? Last season, I remember Brett Brown was pretty good about nagging, I guess, Ben Simmons about, hey, could you shoot the three? Hey, could you shoot the three? Hey, could you shoot the three? He was pretty good about it. Yet, Sixers fans blamed this for the most part, and not just Sixers fans, a guy I know named Stephen A. Smith blamed this on Brett Brown, and I don't want to play the clip because I don't want to get copyrighted, but a guy named Brett Brown, Stephen A. Smith, blamed Brett Brown for Ben Simmons not taking the shots. He's like, you're the coach. You have to coach him. Like do shit.
Agree.
Brett Brown was trying. I think Brett Brown throughout the entire season was encouraging him to shoot. Could he have been more stern? Yes. Doc Rivers not only said to Ben Simmons,
okay.
hey, I'm cool, you do whatever you want. He told the entire world, hey, we're cool, you do whatever you want. I'm just here to make my cash, right? I don't need to coach you. I make my cash. I'll sit on the bench, act like a coach, and you do whatever the fuck you want to do.
I'll say this.
You'll say this. That's your phrase.
Let me get my point now.
Okay.
I think last year there was no accountability at all last year. There was zero. Like, there was none. But I think this year, players, maybe like veterans like Dwight Howard, might nudge him, and also Doc Rivers might eventually change his opinion and say, Ben Simmons, you have to shoot the damn ball, or I might take you out of a crucial moment if you don't do it. And if I'm the coach, I would do that. Take him out the last 5 seconds and we're down by 1. I would if he doesn't shoot. He needs to learn how to shoot. He will be considered a top 10 player in the world if he can shoot. Maybe even the best player. We don't know. But he needs to shoot. And if he can shoot the ball, if he can shoot, it's over.
Your argument scares me. The first thing you said was that there was no accountability last year.
There wasn't, though.
No. If there was no accountability last year, then is there negative accountability this year?
Yes.
So there's less accountability this year than there was last year. Less accountability.
No, there'll be more. No, more. Brett Brown is not as good of a coach as Doc Rivers, and you know it.
In what ways so far, and I know it's only been a week, in what ways, and we can make a list, okay? What ways has Doc Rivers held his players more accountable in the first week? I know there's probably not many.
First of all, we haven't even played a game yet, so we honestly don't know.
But I have a way he's held his players less accountable.
Well, yeah.
We haven't played the game yet.
We haven't played.
So can I tell you something? Not only is there no accountability, there is negative accountability. This is the 0. This is -1.
No, last year was -5. This year
it
is
because Brett Brown tried to encourage Ben Simmons to shoot.
Then why did we fire Brett Brown? Then why did we fire him if he wasn't a good coach?
Because changes needed to be made. I didn't say it was a good decision because this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say. Brett Brown should have been more aggressive about nagging Ben Simmons about shooting. And I think we should have fired him. That does not mean Doc Rivers is the right coach. Okay?
I disagree.
I think it was right to fire Brett Brown. I don't think Doc Rivers is the right coach. So far, and I understand it's only been 1 week, there's been negative accountability. Sorry, what was the second thing you said? Because I had something to dispute about that too.
About what? I basically saying Brett Brown didn't do anything. He didn't held anyone to accountability. Example in 2019 when we had Jimmy Butler. He was not. Remember the video that JJ Redick on his podcast? So they went into the room, Ben, Joe, Butler, and some other Sixer, and JJ and some other Sixer players. And what were they doing? They were click, click, click. He didn't do anything. He didn't even say anything. And it's true because Jimmy Butler and JJ Redick both confirmed it on JJ Redick's podcast. This guy does not coach, and I think Doc Rivers does coach. even though the accountability is pretty shit from him, where I've seen and you've seen so far, I
I,
think this guy is a good coach, except
I
for the accountability.
okay, so now I changed your mind, but we can go deeper because I understand it's not fair, you go on the job, even though it's been a bad start. We'll look at the Clippers 2019, and
I'll
this
say
is actually a
this:
good
there'll
transition.
be more accountability this year than last year. But yeah, look at the Clippers 2019.
This is a good transition point. We can talk about Shake and Dwight Howard after, but there is a report from the Clippers last year that, and this has been reported, but there's been more information that I guess has come out that Paul George and the Kawhi. Well, listen to this. They had
I
one
know.
personal security guards. None of the rest of the team did. Okay. They had control over practice and travel. Kawhi was late for a lot of team flights because he lived in San Diego.
Hey, what it do, baby?
San Diego is about 2 hours away from Los Angeles with traffic. And there's always traffic in Los Angeles. There's always traffic in Los Angeles.
Well, yeah, it's California,
Yeah,
the most
exactly.
populous state.
So he lived two hours away from the Staples Center. He lived in San Diego. Okay. So, and the last thing, which I find crazy, crazy. So imagine, so Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they had control not only when they decided to like sit out a game, Kawhi and his load management. We all saw Kawhi at the strip club. You know, we're not going to explain that video in any further detail because we don't want to get demonetized. But we saw Kawhi at the strip club during a Clippers game. What a bad look that is. But not only do they get to decide, I'm going to take a load management game. If they're playing in a game and they're on the bench and Doc Rivers wanted to put him in, they could say no. They could reject like playing time during a game, which they were on the bench, which they were playing in. Like no, I find that absurd. And what I would say, and oh, sorry, finally, the team was actually okay with this with Kawhi, but not Paul George because he had more of a lack of pedigree. Kawhi 2 championships, Finals MVP. He has the pedigree to take that respect and all that shit. But Paul George didn't. What this reflects is honestly, personally, I don't think Kawhi Leonard should or Paul George should have been afforded that much privilege. Like preferential treatment, that is going a little bit too far. They controlled when they wanted to play when they were on the bench. And I think someone responsible for that was Doc Rivers. If they rejected playing time assignment, Doc Rivers could have gone like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm your coach. You're going into play right now. And this has been a revelation because coaches have just started to they've been kicked around the league. You see with Steve Nash, Kyrie Irving's like, no, we don't have a coach. Everybody's the coach. One day, Spencer
Yeah,
Dinwiddie's the
yeah.
coach. The next day, Karis LeVert. DeZanan. Oh no, he got traded. Bruce Brown. Like it's all like a clusterfuck. But and then you see this with Doc Rivers. He has to stand up. There's no accountability with Doc Rivers. Accountability is what we need. You see, at the end of the season last year, they go down 3-1 lead. Like it's not only that there's no accountability. Seems like there's no coaching. The Clippers disappointed entirely last season. He hasn't.
I'll say this.
He's an old school coach.
Very
What's
good
the
point.
difference between him and Tom Thibodeau from the Knicks?
All right, this is what I will say. I think that Paul George, I think that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they were superstar players, if I'm not mistaken. Well, Paul George at the time was he was coming off Oklahoma, and he was an MVP candidate. Kawhi Leonard, NBA champion at that time. I think that Doc Rivers kind of gave him that treatment because he was cocky because they thought, oh yeah, we're gonna win the championship again. We have two superstar players in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. With the Sixers, we have a star player in Ben Simmons, not yet superstar, and then we have a superstar and star player in Joel Embiid. He's not I'll kind of go both because he can be shit and he can be good. What I'm trying to say is that Doc Rivers won't be as bad in Philly as he was in LA in 2019. And I feel like we have a very good team around those two players, and Doc loves it. And I think Doc will utilize Ben Simmons' full potential and make him from a 16 point from to 19 or 18, which is a big jump. So that's what I think, but obviously we have different opinions about this.
Yeah, because what I think is, you see he wasn't able to coach stars in LA. Joel Embiid is a big personality. Ben Simmons has an ego. You see him come over here. I don't think there's going to be a different result. There's no evidence that there is going to be a different result. And there's no evidence that Doc Rivers is a good coach. He wasn't able to coach good players with the LA Clippers. But we're going to move on because I don't think this argument's going to get anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we know Doc Rivers is a pretty shitty player.
But he's mediocre.
Wait, did I say Doc Rivers is a pretty shitty player? What am I saying? Doc Rivers is a pretty shitty coach. But
mediocre as Carson Wentz, as you say.
Carson Wentz, you were right, and I'll admit it. You were right. Okay. And I'm like Dan here, and you're like Max. You know, I'm like Dan Orlovsky here. You know, like
Max,
Carson Wentz is the best QB. No, okay.
Sucks.
But you know what? And it might still not be done. I think there's still potential in Carson Wentz. I think with the right team around him with 2017, I think there's still a tiny bit of hope that can be recovered. Unlikely. But what I would say, I think for now that you were right about your argument. And I would say you made the argument too early because because I think you were a little bit impatient, but in the end you were right. So
yeah.
Tip the cap to you if I can even speak.
Yeah, tip your hat on your head.
Yeah, tip my fucking cap.
Wow. All right. Thank you, sir. All right, let's move on to the Shake, the Dwight, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so Shake Milton apparently has gained 13 to 14 pounds. Reported by Keith Pompey, the Philadelphia Inquirer. But
was it muscle or fat?
No, like in a good way. No, Shake's not gonna be like, "Hey, I've been eating that Chick-fil-A over quarantine."
Actually, it's clutch low then, because I feel like last year was pretty weak. Now he gained some. That's gonna help his game a lot.
Do you think he actually gained?
No, exactly. I think it's all cap. No.
I think I think he might. I think he might have. I think there's a chance.
That's basically saying last year, and they said Joel Embiid was like running on the treadmill and all that shit, even though he's like 300 fucking pounds.
But I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance. Also, maybe. Dwight Howard has been loving playing with the Sixers for the whole entire day and a half. He likes, the compliments have been everywhere. I mean, he likes playing with Ben and Joel. He likes Doc Rivers. He thinks there's a lot of accountability. He's excited to get more playing time. He's not going to take Joel's job. Things here and there. Overall, a shit ton of quotes. Takeaways, I think Dwight Howard is happy to play here. My question to you, do you think this is real, and do you think he's going to be able to put his ego aside?
I think some of it could be real, but I think some of it won't be real. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to put his ego aside. He always has a big ego, Dwight Howard, especially when he was playing with the Magic, Kobe Bryant, James Harden, and all that shit. He does have a very big ego, but I think that the Sixers could be a real contender this year, but we have to beat Brooklyn and Milwaukee. Actually, no, not Milwaukee. I think they're done. I don't think they're not good in the playoffs. I think it's Brooklyn is our main target to beat. So
with Dwight, I think there's a possibility he sort of put his ego away in LA, but you never know. What I would say is now we have the ultimate free throw squad. The free thramic duo. You know what I'm saying? We got Ben Simmons and we got Dwight. But Dwight's free throw form is actually good. Like, you look at his free throw, it's like not a bad shot. The thing is, it just doesn't go in.
Actually, it was pretty decent for him. Like, you
No, like, his
can't
form's good.
complain. Yeah, you can't complain. Like, if it just doesn't go in, it's good for him. Like, that's just bullshit and unlucky.
Well, I mean, it looks good. That doesn't mean it is good. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
What
from,
we what we've seen on TV when he was playing against us.
I mean, you see Sean Marion taking a lot of threes, and it looks
He's
like,
like, what? It looks like Cash Nasty's jump shot.
if it goes in, it goes in. If it can go in consistently, it goes in consistently.
Yeah, like Markel Fultz.
Now,
Like
Cash
when he goes
Nasty does
in.
not have that bad of a jump shot.
No, he's like this. Weather. Weather.
Yeah, but he releases it not that low. But,
It's like kind of like up here, and it just goes like this.
yeah. And you see Dwight Howard, he's taken a couple threes before, obviously not a three-point shooter, but when he's taken the three, the form's
It
good.
goes in.
No, I'm not saying it goes in because he probably had a lot of air balls, but the form looks good.
Yeah, against
Oh,
in the NBA Finals, he shot like a deep three from like half court and it just went in.
and then Norvell, and that wasn't in the highlights, just getting the ball at the last second, chucking it up and magically landing in the hoop.
Oh, so inspirational, you big man.
Apparently, Seth Curry is also excited to play with Ben Simmons. With Seth Curry, do you think he plays with Ben Simmons potentially at the two guard? Again, we were talking about this a little bit last time, and we got some hate
Yeah.
comments. we were like, "Yo, this lineup is shit out here," but
Keep commenting. We like the comments, honestly.
no, we really
It's
do.
not
Like,
bad.
it means a lot that someone's going to watch 20 minutes. Like, the funny thing is, we talked about lineups 20 minutes in. So the fact that someone would watch 20 minutes of the podcast, gets
Like
to the part
props
where
to
we're talking
you.
about lineups, and feel so engaged, that they need to disagree. That's a compliment to us because that means
Yeah,
you must like our podcast. If someone's watching 20 minutes of us speak, I think
that's
you got to take that as a
insane.
compliment. So,
Yeah, that
yeah.
is props to you.
So
To the
all the
two,
hate
there was
comments we
two
can get, just throw
people.
them at us. Sorry,
Yeah,
what were you saying?
there was two of them that commented on. It was I forget,
No,
but
one
I'm sorry.
one of
I'm
them was
sorry,
an
I forget.
Australian guy that
Yeah,
watched
one
Ben Simmons'
David
dad play in
Simmons.
Australia.
Yeah, I gave him props, and then
Big
you
Ben
was the other
Simmons
one.
fan. You responded to him, and then there's the other guy that was like, this lineup shit. But he apparently wanted Terrence Ferguson to be in the bench rotation over the likes of Isaiah Joe, Furkan Korkmaz, and Mike Scott.
Oh, he's gonna be commenting a lot, so I'm gonna
Hey,
respond to him as well.
bro,
But
it's all
we
love.
like the comments. We all love all love.
No, and then the episode before we
Keep the
got the guy.
comments going.
No, and
Keep
in the
the
episode
comments
before, we got the guy debating with me about Tyrese Maxey. I was like, bro, the stats don't lie. Shooting fucking 42% from the field. Like,
We will get into Tyrese Maxey later in this episode.
wait, we
If we
will?
have something to talk about with him.
Yeah, just a brief thing about Tyrese Maxey, but
Or we can do it now.
well, I just want to finish talking about these comments because I find it hilarious
Fine.
that someone's going to say you're an offensive weapon if you shoot
Yeah.
like. Sorry, I'm gonna pull up Tyrese Maxey's stats again to make sure
Sorry.
I'm not bullshitting thing. Yeah. I just want to make sure I'm not bullshitting anything here, but we'll pull up Tyrese Maxey's stats. He shot 42% from the field, which is 4 points below NBA average, right? And this is this is in college, so theoretically it should be easier. He also shot 29% from three, which is horrible, like horrible. Only averaged 14 points as well. I mean, you can't argue that's an offensive weapon.
I'll
Like,
say
you
this.
can argue he scores a lot. You can't argue he's an offensive weapon because he's not.
I'll say this.
I'll say this.
I think. Let me get my point out, my G. All right. Here's now I'm being serious. He has been working out a lot. Example: LeBron James. He worked out with him and Ben Simmons once, and just yesterday he actually worked out with Rajon Rondo, and he's been working out. I don't know if it's true, but apparently he's been working out at like 6 a.m. almost every day, like making sure that jump shot is clean. He wants to prove the haters wrong, and he wants to prove the stats that he had in college wrong, and I respect that a lot. And I think with hard work pays off, and I think he's got the Mamba mentality, and he wants to win.
Yeah, and I mean, I totally agree with that because the thing is, you can see it in him. He wants to work hard. He wants to improve his jump shot. And I'm just saying, before this season, he was not a good offensive player. And I think he could surely develop to be that. But right now, as it stands, he's an off-ball defender that doesn't get steals and is not very good offensively.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that he has the work ethic to be very good.
Yes.
Also, Tobias Harris is excited to reunite with Doc Rivers. Definitely makes sense, as I'm going to pull up Tobias Harris's stats. Did not play for the Clippers for that long, but when he did play for the Clippers, results
That
were
was
good.
good.
You know, that was like...
Just Doc Rivers. And it was just Doc Rivers, so.
It was. And when... No, Doc Rivers is all negative, but I feel like, mostly negative.
With Tobias Harris, like, he coached him very well, obviously. Look at the stats when he played in that.
And I'm going to pull that up in a second. But one thing with Clippers Doc is not Clippers Doc, Clippers Tobias, is he when I watched him play, he moved around a lot more. You know what I'm saying? He had the ball in his hands, and he could, like, get to the rim more. Like, he on the Sixers, he plays a little bit more off ball. So that's at least what I noticed. So I feel like that could be cool. But anyway, stats don't lie, so we're going to pull that up.
Yep.
With the Clippers, which was...
Is 2000.
We'll go 18-19. 27 games, 35 minutes a game. This season, he almost averaged 21 points playing for the Clippers that season. Sorry, this is kind of small, so I just have to... shot, and look at this, 43% from three. See, Doc gave him all the opportunities. He was the star player. He was comfortable there. So if he can be comfortable in Doc's system, that could be one of the few positives, I feel like. Him shooting well from three. Also shot well from the field, 49%. That's almost like 50. Like that is very efficient from the field. 49%, especially for a guy that's taking as many threes as he does, 4.7 a game, making 2 of them. Yeah. Well, is that he hit his free throws and was fine on defense. He's never been a great defender, but of course, always never been a horrible defender. So I'm excited for Clippers Tobias to return.
Yes, sir.
Clippers Tobias.
Hope he can be the Clippers Tobias. Yeah. But
that was so unnecessary, but yeah.
I don't give a fuck, Ethan. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
My Sixers will do well, and if we don't do well, I'm going to slam Doc Rivers so hard like Carson Wentz, and I will also slam Joel Embiid because he's probably going to look like Shaq. Let's be honest.
Depends what happens with Joel. But anything else you have to say before we end this podcast? Anything you have to add? Any topics we missed?
I think we covered all of them. Go Sixers. We got a preseason game coming up soon, even though it's not important, but we like to see the players play. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you guys for watching. It's been Ethan Koppelman, Noah Mofsowitz. See you guys next time.